This is our last book of our Lenten story times. So I hope you have enjoyed these books and this time that we've had together. I encourage you to read them again, find them. This one is also downstairs in the Sunday school classroom in that little bookcase, so you can always grab it if you like and take it home for a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna read this. We'll see how much response we get to these, and we may start trying to do a story a month or so. Does that sound good? I like reading these books, so I hope you do too. All right, so A Friend Who Forgives. All right, so this is a true story from the Bible. This is a story from the Bible about Peter and Jesus. So this is scripture inspired. Okay. A long time ago, there was a man named Peter who was best friends with Jesus. Peter was a fisherman. He was strong and brave, but he often said the wrong thing. Do you ever talk before you think? That's what Peter did. Again and again and again. There's he's fishing, and there's he's doing. Talking and saying some wrong things. Peter loved fish. In fact, one day, he and Jesus had fish for breakfast. Fish for breakfast? That's a little weird. But we will save that part of the story until the end. On the day when Jesus first called Peter to follow him, can you guess what Peter was doing? And I think we've talked about this in Sunday school if you got to join that, or any of the family Lent group if you were part of that. That's right. Peter was fishing. There's him off on his fishing awards. And there he is in the boat. And Jesus is about to go talk to him. Follow me and I will make you a fisher of men, Jesus told him. Can you imagine that? Peter fishing for men? Like this. All the old people in the fish. Jesus explained that just as Peter liked to search for fish, Jesus had come to search for people who needed forgiveness. Again, Jesus preaching. Oh, that's Peter. Sorry, Peter's in the boat. I know what I'm talking about, I promise. Okay, so Peter loved being friends with Jesus. He saw Jesus do lots of amazing things. One time, Peter's mother-in-law was sick. Jesus healed her. We also talked about that. Another time, Peter was about to drown in a storm. Jesus saved him. We talked about that. Slowly, Peter realized that Jesus was more than a friend. He was God. He would never let Peter down. There's some of the miracles that Jesus did. But sometimes Peter let Jesus down. Like the time Jesus explained to his friends that he had to die on the cross, but that he would come back to life to offer forgiveness. All of you will run away. You're going to say you're not my friends, Jesus said. Peter spoke up right away. He did that a lot. I will never do that, Peter said. But Jesus told him, before the rooster crows in the morning, you will say 3 times that you're not my friend. I would never do that. Jesus is my best friend, Peter thought. When soldiers came to take Jesus to the cross, Peter pulled out his sword to stop them. Put your sword away, Peter, Jesus said. My God says this must happen. Jesus let the soldiers take him to a courtyard to stand trial. Peter followed from far away. "Aren't you one of Jesus' friends?" a young girl asked as she opened a gate for Peter to enter the courtyard. What do you think Peter said? There's them taking Jesus. There's the little girl asking. What do you think Peter said? Yes or no? My friend or yeah? No, I don't know Jesus. It was a cold night, so Peter walked over to a fire where some people were warming themselves. "Aren't you one of Jesus' friends?" someone asked Peter. What do you think Peter said? Remember what Jesus told him? No, I don't know Jesus. It's number 2. Then someone else stepped forward and looked closely at Peter. "Yes, you are one of Jesus' friends, aren't you?" he said. What do you think Peter said? No, I don't know Jesus. Right then, at that very moment, a rooster crowed. What does a rooster sound like? Yep. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Jesus turned around and looked straight at Peter. Then Peter remembered that Jesus had said, "Before the rooster crows, you will say 3 times that you are not my friend." Peter was so sad. He knew he had failed Jesus again and again and again. He didn't just need to find other people who needed forgiving. He needed forgiving too. Peter felt terrible. He ran out of the courtyard and he cried and cried and cried. Peter had let his best friend down, and now it was too late because the soldiers had taken Jesus away to be killed. But Peter didn't stay sad because Jesus didn't stay dead. 3 days later was the first Easter Sunday when Jesus came back to life to offer people forgiveness. But would he forgive Peter for failing so badly? One day, Jesus went looking for Peter. Where do you think Jesus found him? That's right. Peter and his friends were fishing. There's empty tomb. There's Jesus finding Peter again fishing. Jesus called to them from the beach. Peter jumped out of the boat into the water and rushed to the beach to see Jesus. And this is where Jesus and Peter had fish for breakfast. Fish for breakfast? Still weird. Peter was so happy to see Jesus alive, but would Jesus forgive him? Peter wasn't sure. Maybe Jesus wouldn't want to talk to him. Maybe Jesus wouldn't want to be friends with him. There he is jumping into the lake or the sea and swimming. And they're cooking fish for breakfast. But yes, Jesus did want to talk to Peter. And yes, Jesus did want to forgive Peter. Wow. And since Peter had said he didn't know Jesus 3 times, Jesus gave Peter the chance to say 3 times, "I love you, Jesus." That's how Peter became a forgiven fisher of men. Look, they're all hugging. They made up. Peter spent the rest of his life telling people about his best friend, Jesus. He told them that if they put their trust in Jesus, he would forgive them again and again and again. That's because Jesus was Peter's best friend. He forgave him again and again and again. And if you trust in Jesus, he will forgive you too. Again and again and again. The end. That was the story in the Bible. And this was a really good book. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this whole series. Alright, sorry, this story was a lot more emotional hitting than I expected it to be. So we should always be nice and forgive others. Okay? Alright. See you later. I hope you had a wonderful Easter. And we'll see you later. Bye.